Good afternoon and happy October the 17th to you. Today is a very special day for me and my husband. Today is our wedding anniversary, and I thank God for it. And today I just wanted to do somewhat of what is a dedication to not only us, but just for those of you that is trying to find a special someone and feel as though that you have lost hope or just feel like, you know, it's not for you because of maybe some of the things that you've seen out here on TV and social media. And maybe you've got some misinformation for something. But anyway, I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at my description, but if you do, I kind of wrote a little excerpt with regards to finding that special someone. And I just in the description, I state that when I met my now soulmate, I was approximately 230 pounds. I had somewhat of a small waist, but wasn't all that small. Um, I had uh, big thighs. I had a big butt, and I was loud. I was me. I showed up as me always. That's what attracted him, according to what he says to me. I was just me. I was a person that stood up for the little man. I was the person that, or for the underdog, the person that always lost. I always stood up for people who were being bullied. I was a person who really carried my feelings on my sleeve, which meant a lot. That I was not going to hold back if I saw something that was wrong. I've always been the person to speak up for something that is or against something that was wrong, and just showing up how I was. I also put in the description because I also see this trend now that people feel like they have to be so perfect in the way that they look to be able to attract a soulmate or a mate. And they go, and I'm not against anything that's going to help you be the best person that you have to be. But I also see that people have died. It has been written that people have died because they have had these surgeries. They have gone. People have the young folks now are buying these somewhat, what do you call, these girdles and things like that to help snatch their waist. I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm against it if you're trying to alter something to try to catch something that is looking for something that's real, if that makes sense. I know that I have had conversations with young men that are looking for um, natural women, aside from, the eyelashes, the butt lifts, or the butt injections, or the altered, their altered self, or just constantly have like hair weaves and different things that alter who they are. So, in other words, you have so many men. I mean, I'm saying people like who they like. Don't get me wrong whatsoever. But I'm saying if you're struggling with something that takes you out of who you are, maybe that's not for you. And I say that only because what America deem as beauty, I don't deem as beauty. What I have always been told is I am beautiful. I and this is from my parents. This is from people who love me. You are beautiful just the way you are. But then you've also have had naysayers to tell you opposite because they believe that it's a certain standard and a certain way you should be. You should be this certain weight. You should be this certain look. You have to have long hair. I've always had shorter hair. I've always been the person that has been the opposite in just about everything. I've always been that person that's been the opposite of what the room offered. And I was okay with that. And I'm still okay with that. And I can say after 30 years of being friends, but also being in a loving and uh, wonderful relationship, that I have always each day arrived to the situation being me. I never allowed anybody or anyone's opinion, their insecurity, to dictate who I was. And with that being said, I can honestly say, with that being with that being said, I can honestly say that I found a person that loved me for who I was. And of course, I loved him for being who he was. And together throughout the years, we have grown. Our love has gotten much, much stronger. We respect each other. We are committed to each other. We have, in so many words that we have, grown together in so many ways. And that's not only just in our marriage, but as friends, as soulmates. We have God first. Our spirituality is very, very important to us. We have admiration for one another, slash respect. Again, I said, and I started out with friendship, and you have to have friendship within the relationship of being married. You know, there is no third person in our marriage. And there has never been a third person in our marriage. And that is from the advice of our mothers and, of course, our godmothers and people who saw when we were seeking to get married. This was some of the advice that they have given us. And this is also include my father, who told us to never put anybody in your marriage. Also, you have to have, like I said, communication. And I will put communication right up at the top of and under us being friends is the communication, which consists of listening and learning. We never stop learning from each other. Allow a person to be who they are. Allow a person to grow to be who they are, because you met a person over 20 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. That person changes, and of course you're going to change. Your likes and dislikes are going to change. And if you have room outside of yourself to allow that person to change and you begin to change with them, that will be an awesome journey that you will continue to walk with that individual. Also, kindness is very important. To be kind, regardless if you disagree on any points. Being kind and going back to being respectful is so important. And lastly is trust. You know, a lot of times, we find things, we find people that try to insert themselves in your relationships or your marriage and to cause you to have distrust. If you have a situation, and the Bible talks about, have you ever aught with your brother or your sister? And that is also considered your mate, then you need to go to them and not go and consider everybody else but the individual to get opinions about that individual. So, and with that being said, I just want to say to you, if you're looking to find, um, and in my opinion, a special someone, show up to the situation being yourself. You know, I remember early on when I was younger, and I had some friends say, "You so loud when you laugh, you laugh so loud." Well, guess what? That was one of the things that sort of attracted my husband to me. I was very loud. I grew up in a loud house. We used to yell because the house that we lived in and the house that we still have is really 3 floors, actually 4 floors if you consider the basement. So we yelling, "Mama, Daddy!" So you kind of grow up, and so now even to this day, I'm still loud, you know. But I say all that to say, if you're looking to find that special someone, dig deep inside yourself. I would suggest that you not alter yourself and you show up to the situation being totally you. You will be so surprised outside of what the American standard beauty and what people are telling you the way that you should look or the way you should feel about yourself. You'll find it quite the opposite. And I have always been quite the opposite. when it comes to the standard of beauty here in America. Because to them, and a lot of people, it is for you to have lighter skin, it's for you to have longer hair, it's for you to have longer lashes and nails and all this other type of stuff. Just arrive to the situation being yourself. If you go out, be yourself. You'll be very surprised who's looking at you. And if I can say this to yourself, and if you have something or um, a situation to where you feel like you have already this perfect man or this perfect woman in your mind, erase all that. Because the trueness comes with the person that you actually consider a possible situation, and you guys continue to grow and understand and learn each other, you'll be very surprised that the very thing that you're seeking, that is either materialistic or this god or goddess that you really really want, that's just an imagination that's in your mind. You will find that the person that you will go through this life with may not have everything or check off on your list that you have, that you say that is going to make you to be the best. You may be checking off on a list that would bring you more hell than satisfaction. And with that being said, I appreciate you. I hope my message hits you in the right way, just to let you know that, finding that special someone is not as hard as you think. You just humble yourself, you keep God first, you ask God for what you want, but He's going to send you what you need. Hello? All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you again for tuning in to Love and Hope Can. And until next time, be blessed. Peace and blessings. Bye.